Colin Dixon with nScreenMedia, and I'm at IBC 2015 with Kurt Michel, who is Senior Director of Marketing at Ineoquest. Kurt, one of the things that's very apparent from the show is that there's a massive movement into the cloud. And now we're in a situation where content providers really have their own services that they're delivering directly to consumers, but they have a problem. And the problem is that the only way they seem to be able to find out that things are going wrong with their service is when they see a blast of complaints on social media, the very worst way to control. Now, Ineoquest is trying to fix that, and you showed me a really powerful demo just a few minutes ago of how you're trying to get telemetry of what's going on throughout. So tell us a little bit about that demo.
So in our demonstration, we have acquisition elements at different parts of the network, both pre and post encoder, pre and post CDN, and all the way out in the endpoint, at the edge of the CDN, as well as software that runs in the endpoints. And
so by the endpoints, you mean the devices that consumers are actually using,
right? So the software would be integrated into, for example, a player app. And we've worked with companies like Visual On to actually integrate that SDK into their player technology. And the beauty of that is it brings to the over-the-top environment something that's akin to what we worked on in the IPTV space with the telcos and the cable cos, something that they called at the time SCTE 168 standards, which basically says this is where you should measure things and this is what you should measure. And depending on what part of the network you're looking at, a metric for what quality looks like will be different, just because of the kinds of things, the kinds of artifacts that can be created by that particular element. What's happening here, though, and as you pointed out, the content owner is a little bit at the mercy of multiple vendors that they're paying to prepare their content, protect their content, deliver their content. And I think what they really need, and what the industry really needs to burst out from this, the novelty innovation stage, and really match the needs of consumers and what the expectations are to really get to that broadcast quality level, is an end-to-end perspective so that the content owner who has the relationship with the customer knows what's happening at each stage of the network, even though they're no longer the people who own and operate the network. And once we get there, once we get to a place where there are some de facto standards in place for where the different elements are and how they need to perform, well, then we get a level of accountability that's going to drive the quality in the industry to the place where it needs to be to hit the broadcast quality standard.
So actually using your Ineoquest software, you can actually see where the fault lies, where in that chain of delivery things went wrong, and more importantly, you can actually see the people that the content providers using to do the delivery. You can see if they're fulfilling their part of the bargain, right?
Certainly. So we can look at aggregate statistics of what's happening on any particular CDN, or if multiple CDNs are used, we can see what's happening across multiple CDNs. If you were to get a phone call, for example, you're the operator, the service provider, you get a phone call from a subscriber and they're not happy with their service, you can go back and look at the history of exactly what their quality of service was, and you can then trace that back to what it was that was causing the issue along the way. You could do that in real time, or you can go back and look at, for example, up to a year of history of what they've been, what the quality has been for them. And so what this does is it puts the tools into the hands of the customer, our customer, who has a direct relationship with the viewer. Now we're also working within the ecosystem with other vendors, such as Elemental and a variety of CDN vendors. We speak quite a bit with people like Akamai, to look for ways to set up clear demarcation points. As I mentioned, de facto standards. What should be measured, how you measure it, and where you measure it. And if we can do this within the entire ecosystem and put it all together in a way that's open, so that the content owner or the content provider who's paying for the services from the various ecosystem vendors when they pay for that, they can also ask for and request access to the metrics that they need to see. And then suddenly they have a pane of glass that gives them all of the telemetry data, all of the information that they need to know that the services they're paying for and the video quality that their customers are demanding are all being met. And when they're not, they can also very quickly understand why.
So it sounds like a very important tool set. It really puts us in a position where we used to be with the broadcaster traditional networks, where you could see all the way through the network, but you're actually going much further here. You're actually going out to the client as well. So it actually puts more power in the hands of the people that really need it. It sounds like a fantastic product set. When do you think this will move from the demonstration to the delivery part?
So, well, it's actually built on existing products, and what we're doing is we're making it so that the products are actually communicating more smoothly with each other. And so these are software upgrades that are being made, and various of our customers have different areas of interest. So some are very interested in the head end, some are very interested in the CDNs and how they're performing, and they're buying different elements. But what we're doing is putting together a structure, an architecture, so that they all play together. Mm-hmm. And when they all play together and they can all correlate right down to the specific program, for example, for a particular subscriber, that's where the power comes in. It's a true end-to-end mature type of solution.
And it sounds like it's resonating. You won an award, I gather.
Yes, we did. We picked up the CSI award last night for the most innovative analytics and data solution here at the show.
Oh, that's very cool, and congratulations to you and those at Ineoquest, and I hope you have a great show.
Thank you very much, Colin. We're having a great show.
This has been Colin Dixon with nScreenMedia.